Hi guys, welcome back. Just wanted to make a bit of a video on the bump steer issue in the RX7 and sort of why I did what I did, because I had some people ask me to go into it a bit more. Basically with your steering rack and your tie rod end, you've got 2 points and a straight line between them. Same with the pivot point, which is the black, and the ball joint below control arm. So that's 2 points as well, with a straight line between them. And as soon as you go and do what I did and drop your rack down 25 mil, then you've gone and changed the angle here. So the line, the point is now between this point and this point. We've gone down 25. That's exaggerated, but so the point is between here and here, and what that means is it's no longer the same operating angle as was designed by OEM. And what it means is when your knuckle goes up and down, where your tie rod is attached to this end, the arc travel is going to be different. So imagine the black is your lower control arm and the green is going to be your tie rod, right? So OEM is like this, and they're parallel, and the knuckle moves up and down, and there's no great length change between these 2 points. But as soon as you go and drop the tie rod end down, and you push that up, notice that the green cap moves inwards as it goes up, and as it comes down, it goes out. Goes up, goes in. So the distance is changing greatly because you've dropped that point down to here. So I've dropped it down to here, and then as it goes up, it's going to change. And that's what gives you bump steer. Okay, so it pulls, it's actually pulling the knuckle as it goes up. So it's steering the car, even though you're not steering it. So you need to fix that. And what I did was I actually bought the GK Tech bolt-on thing, which moves it back up 25 mil to the center where the tie rod bolts on. So this point here will be up here now. That drawing. Oh. I can show you because I have the thing right here. So this is the power steering rack. That's the shaft, and that will be your original attachment point. And the offset spacer is this thing, which bolts onto your shaft with the Allen key bolt, which goes in there. And then that is now the new attachment hole for your tie rod end, which is 25 millimeters further up, which puts it back in the factory location, which deletes the whole angle issue. So that's what I've done there. I'll show you the rack and where I cut it and stuff now. So one of the main reasons I only dropped the rack 25 millimeters is because I did a little bit of research beforehand, and there are different roll center adjustment kits you can buy, which you bolt on to the end of your steering arm and your knuckle. But I didn't want to drop the rack too much. You could drop it further than 25 millimeters. You could drop it right down. You can see I've only gone 25 mil, but really, like, I could have gone another half inch, 12 mil, and gone even lower and given myself more room up here. I could have cut off this whole section here and given myself a bit more sump space, but it was unnecessary because the sump doesn't need to be deep at this end because I'm going a rear sump. And I knew that I can only get the tie rod spacers from GK Tech in 25 mil. No one makes them bigger. I could get custom ones made, but we don't have the funds for that. So I opted just to go 25 mil so I could buy a straight on fitting and fix the problem that way. I didn't need to go anymore. So basically, yeah, the way you go about doing a steering rack modification, if you want to lower your steering rack, basically I started from the top. I just traced a line sort of roughly where I want to drop it down vertically, and then basically take the meat out of the bottom in a straight section that's easy to draw a 25mm strip to drop it down, and then I cut the other bits out later, the curved bits and stuff, which are harder. So you just slice it 25mm apart, chop that bit out, and then you can start to envisage where it's going to drop to. And that's how I did that. The engine mounts, I thought I'd go into a little bit more. You can see I've actually put a plate underneath them, welded that, because the actual subframe material is only 2.5mm or something, and obviously an RB25 weighs, the long block weighed 146, so it's a lot heavier than a 13B, and I didn't want to just weld these tabs straight onto the 2.5mm material. I wanted to give it a nice solid pad, so I welded a big 5mm pad on there. That way I can crank some heat into it, get a nice solid weld, good pano, and welded the 5mm tabs on. You can see I've welded a nut in the back to make life easier with installing. Yeah, I didn't want to, I could have cut this whole section out of the subframe to give myself even more sump space, but I wanted to retain the original engine mount positions in case I happen to come into a hoard of cash later on. I can put a 13B into it, which is what I'd like, since it's my dream car, but we don't have the funds for that right now, so we're going RB. So I opted to leave it that way and just do a wing sump through the middle hole there, and that's what we're going to do. So yeah, stay tuned.